COVID-19. It's certainly changed a lot of things, including the way we walk around the streets, I hope. I had it myself in March, and it's not a pleasant experience, so I'm a strong advocate of this mask in any and every situation. But it's also made, I think, a very significant difference in how boards of directors work. We've all gone online, and we've done that at the Rotman School. Of all of our courses are all online, and we now interact very differently with each other. I characterize the difference in two temperature settings, cold and hot. Cold being where we have a group of, 10, 20, 30, 40 students, 40 people in a room, and they're just pictures on a wall. Sometimes they don't move, sometimes there's only a name, and you can't interact with them. There's no touch, there's no humanity. If you get smaller, I'd say 3 to 5, then it's possible to use Zoom to your advantage. Where there is some intimacy, there does appear to be some human contact. So that's how I characterize the use of online board meetings between the hot and the cold. And I think it's important that you balance those two things very consciously. So I think there are 3 basic components to setting up your online directorships. 1 is getting the structural stuff right, 2 is controlling the temperature, and 3 is innovating outside the boardroom. Number 1, getting the structural stuff right. I would say you don't want your board meeting to last more than 2 hours. There's a Zoom fatigue factor that's enormous and real. Peering into a screen for a long period of time puts you to sleep. There's no question. No matter how hard you try, you're likely to drift off. So you want to have a 2-hour meeting. And in that 2-hour meeting, you should not be getting people into subject matter material, I think, for maybe more than 15 minutes at a time. So it's 15 minutes on and then maybe 5 minutes off. Just go meet another director in a breakout room. Go have a chat with an executive. Go get a coffee. And then come back to the next item on the agenda. The implication of that is that you've worked very, very hard on the agenda characterization. So you know exactly what you're going to get to the board and what you want to get from the board. And secondly, that you've got a big amount of pre-work has gone out to the directors in advance that they should have read, and then the executives, when they're talking across the boardroom table virtually, understand that the directors are already immersed in the material. That'll change the nature of the conversation. But you must not, I think, take more than 15 minutes at any time to be immersed in a subject matter area. Sure, expand that if things are going well, contract it if they're not. But give people a break. Move from the cold to the hot, and that gets them re-engaged and re-emerged and re-energized, and bring them back and do another agenda item. So hot and cold, temperature, pre-work, large consent agenda, and a very disciplined agenda, I think, are critical to managing a board of directors in these times. The second thing, and the really important thing, is outside the board meetings. We used to have board dinners, and in those board dinners we could meet and chat and greet with the executive team, with our colleague directors. Then there'd be lunchtime together, maybe breakfast together, coffee breaks together. There's a lot of human interaction in a normal board meeting. That's gone. So you got to think about how to replace that. And one of the ways is to use Zoom to its advantage. It's easy to pull together a meeting. You don't have to travel anywhere. The logistics are zero. You just got to get in front of the computer. Well, pull together meetings of executives, 3 of them with 1 director on some subject, doesn't matter, or just to say hello or find out the name of your cat. It's always what I think. Do I know the management team? I do when I know the name of their kids and their pets. So use Zoom to its advantage outside the board meeting in order to try to build and maintain and enhance those individual relationships that I think add so much to the potential of a board to add value to a company. Any other ideas, any other notions you've got about what you've done to change your processes to ensure that you get a board that's adding value to the company and not just being a policing and oversight board, please let us know. We are really anxious to improve our knowledge and information about how to work in a COVID environment. And meanwhile, when you go out, please use these, even though they fog up my glasses and cause me a great deal of difficulty because I don't know where I'm going.